Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Strength Students podcast. I'm your co-host, Dutch Matthews,
and
FBI,
and I'm Dirk Steele,
and we're here kicking ass and arresting hobos. Hobos, not
for
homos.
loitering.
I'm your co-host, Steve Cardi.
I'm Nick Scopoletti.
I don't know what the fuck that was. And this is the Strength Students podcast, which we already mentioned. And we have a dope episode for you today, guys.
Already lost.
Talking about arms, baby.
Arm farm.
Arm farm, baby. Talking about arms today. But yeah, welcome, guys. Welcome, Nick. How are you doing? How's your training going?
I feel pretty terrible, man.
Good.
No, I feel good. It's just like, you know, it's getting dark at 3 p.m. now here in the Northeast. And you can see I'm wearing a winter hat. Feeling a little under the weather, but otherwise, I feel really good.
It's a great day here today.
It is.
Strength Students podcast.
What about you, dude? You are 6 days out.
I'm 6 days away, so I should be maxing out my snatch today for my weightlifting meet on Sunday. Just kidding. When this gets released, I'm going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days out.
Yeah.
On Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
about that.
I got a meet on Sunday. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. First weightlifting meet in a while.
Trinity meet at Trinity College
in Hartford, Connecticut.
Hartford, weightlifting meet.
So for all our local listeners, come check it out.
Yes, come by,
all
please.
of our listeners on Tinder, come check it out.
Oh, man.
Come check me out. Yeah,
Me too.
I'm hoping to hit 145 for my opener, not kilos. This is pounds. 145 for my opener.
Fucking pussy.
Jump to 165, and then, depending on how I feel,
185.
Maybe hit 185.
You have
to. I hope so. I just want to hit my opener. That's all I really give a shit about.
If you don't hit
right.
Just letting you know.
And then clean, I don't know. I'll probably just do the same thing I did last time. Maybe 225, 235. Maybe try to hit 240 or 245. That would be kind of a PR for me. So yeah, I'm excited for that. But yeah, let's get this thing started with a dad joke here. Your favorite.
Your favorite.
So, Nick, if Steven Seagal removed all animal products from his diet, what would we call him?
I don't know, Steve.
Vegan Seagal. Announcements. Make sure you guys go subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook. We're not on Twitter anymore, right? We don't really do that.
We are. We rip.
Oh, we're on Twitter.
I'm still ripping Twitter.
Okay. Like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, then follow us to our cars. At Strength Students Podcast for all of that. But maybe one day it won't be named that anymore, guys. Who knows?
It won't be. We keep hinting. We're just waiting to pull the trigger.
Make sure you guys subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. And subscribe to us on Stitcher. And give us a 5-star review there as well. That'd be awesome. Your feedback's great. And it also helps the show out. So would appreciate that. And then also go check out our YouTube. We're going to put up an arm accessory video on YouTube. So some of our favorite arm accessories, that's kind of going to go with today's episode. We're talking about arms. So we're going to go over some of our favorite arm accessories, how to do them, reps, schemes, tempos, things like that. And we're also going to be sending out to you guys an Arm Farm 6-week free arm program. So building some strength and hypertrophy in your arms. Free program. So make sure you guys go download that, and we'll send that to you guys. Actually, I don't know how we're going to send it to people, but we'll figure it out.
It will be on
Facebook.
It'll be on our Instagram and
the link
in the bio for like probably a week or so, or even longer.
Dude, fucking move up, dude. Look, you look like a midget.
I am.
Get in the shot.
I'm trying to look thinner.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, cool. So, time to slide into those DNs, send some nudes. Nudes, not nudes. Sorry, we're not going to send you actual nudes. Send in some news.
Let's see you PayPal us $5.
This week's
we'll send you nudes.
This week's send news is from Elite FTS, an article from Elite FTS from a guy named Ben Pollock. He's a powerlifter. And it's called Get a Grip on Your Gun. So fits nicely with what we're talking about on our episode today.
It's about the NRA.
It's a oh god, it's a great article, guys. It talks about how accessory work in powerlifting and some of the other strength sports, not just for not just for hypertrophy and aesthetics, not just for looking good because everyone wants some big ass, good looking arms, but it's also for grip strength. And he talks a lot about not dropping deadlifts and how your arms are positioned in your squat. So there's definitely a good reason to do. Definitely beneficial reason to do arm accessory work other than getting huge arms, which he kind of alludes to. So go check that article out. We're going to send that to you guys. Make sure that's public. Get a Grip on Your Guns by Ben Pollock. Grip on your guns. I'm liking this shirt.
Hey, you're looking pretty yoked,
dense.
bro.
Yeah, I'm 191 right now.
Dude,
which
what
is,
happens if you fucking
that's on the heavier end for me.
Weights?
Yeah, I like it.
Fuck CrossFit.
Fuck that shit.
Just kidding.
But yeah, I'm 191. I got to be fucking 187 by Sunday. I was telling you, I was telling Nick, I was telling you off camera. Last time this came around, same scenario. It's a week out. I was 190, 191, and I had to be 187. And I just went too extreme and cut carbs out. I was like, gotta cut. And by meet day, I was 183, which is definitely not on the high end for me. So
yeah, you look like death.
Yeah, so we're not going to be doing that. But anyway, so we're going to roll right into this, guys. Got a great episode for you coming today. We're going to talk about arms and arm accessory work, not only for getting huge, but for strength as well. So we're going to take a quick break, be right back. And when we come back, we'll be talking about Arm Farm, baby. Want more of the Strength Students podcast? Go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, make sure you leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and on Stitcher. Stitcher, I just met her. Welcome back, everybody. Strength Students podcast here. We are talking about arms, baby. Arm Farm today. Specifically focusing on the two main muscles of the arm that everyone knows, the fucking money makers, biceps and triceps. So real quick, kind of going into those, your biceps. You essentially have two parts of your biceps, right? You have the short head and the long head. So if you ever flex on camera here, you have two parts of your biceps, right?
Oh,
you
boy.
essentially have biceps bi, two, like
sexual.
If you're bi, right. Okay. So biceps, so you have the two parts. So the inner part of your biceps, that would be the short head, and the outer part would be the long head, right? And then your triceps, so sticking with the same theme there, tri. You have, it's similar with the triceps. Nick, why don't you take that one? What do you got in your triceps, bro?
Got a lot of beef back there.
A lot of beef.
Tell you
this
what.
is a triceps guy over here. So.
So you have three heads. Right? Triceps, tricycle.
Only got head 3 times in college, too. Keep going.
Oh, boy. So you got your long head, okay, which is when you're drunk and no, I'm kidding. So the long head of your tricep is the longest head. It inserts, I'm trying to get in this camera, so
it's in your inner arm.
Yeah, it's the back right here.
If you're looking, if your palms are up and you're looking down, it's on the inside of your arm.
Yeah, it's the longest head. It's what it makes up most of the meat. Also, fun fact about the triceps, they make up about 3/4, 75% of your arm. Nice. So you got big tries.
Oh, good job.
Chances are you, thank you, Dad. And then you got the medial head, which is kind of upper middle, kind of like that horseshoe, makes the horseshoe. They all make the horseshoe, that horseshoe type thing, right?
It's like the shoe part of the horseshoe, the rounded part of the horseshoe
top
on your
part.
tricep.
And then my personal favorite, the lateral head. So that is that bump, right?
The fucking mirror muscle, baby.
I can't tell you how many times I flexed that so hard in high school in every photo ever.
Fucking magic mirror muscle.
For real. So the bump, you can even see it through my fucking shit right here, baby. So this bump right here, I'd like to thank my high school coaches for making me do overhead dumbbell extensions until my arms fell off. And my triceps are good for life. Thank you.
Nice. And I'd like to thank my genetics for not allowing me to have huge arms. They're nice. They're
what
good.
About
I
your
like
calves?
them.
Tell them about your calves.
Oh, yeah. That's another story. Talk about biceps fucking femoris. Those are some biceps I don't have. All right, yeah. So talking about arms, right? So let's start with kind of like rep ranges and tempos and things like that. So how would you train your arms, right? So I'll let you go into that first. Let's talk about reps first. So rep schemes. What do you think is ideal for training arms?
I always, go with just like arm stuff for hypertrophy. Like there's 10 to 15 is usually that general rep range. I even know a couple, there's guys, and we could get into this a little bit later, but guys like Westside Barbell that will end an upper body session with like 100 to 200 band pushdowns.
Good Lord.
I mean, that's, Louis Simmons always said, if you want to press big weight, you need to have that. Your triceps need to be big. Like you need to build up your elbows.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk about that a little later on.
Get
why
to
that's
that.
important. But
10 to 15, I like. I have experimented with like super heavy arm work. I'm talking like 6s and shit like that. And I found that actually works pretty well. As far as, do you want me to like go into like
like reps or sets?
6 reps.
6 reps. Okay.
Like heavy as fuck.
Yeah, and so when we're talking reps too, if we're kind of dividing it up into 2 different areas, hypertrophy meaning like gaining size, right, making your muscles look bigger, and strength, making them stronger, right? That hypertrophy side, making them bigger, you're probably looking between like anywhere from 10 to 20, right? So like high rep ranges, that's what's really going to promote hypertrophy. We'll talk a little bit about how tempo can promote hypertrophy as well. And then on the strength side, we're looking at, like 5 to 8 reps. I've heard that like 8, and some studies say that 8 is a really good mix between like strength and hypertrophy. So I would say like 5 to 8. Now, some of you might hear that and say, oh, I'm going to do 5 bicep curls. I mean, you could, but also think of other things like chin-ups, like we talked about off camera, like weighted chin-ups, doing 5 reps of weighted chin-ups. Go try that out with like 50% of your body weight.
Or just
don't start off with 50% of your body weight. Start with lighter.
But, for bigger guys, I've always had trouble with pull-ups and chin-ups and stuff like that. Like, some of the biggest times I've had the biggest arms when I've hammered like chin-ups.
Yeah, right.
So that means like...
Dude, weighted chin-ups are so hard.
Oh, my God.
It's just you're adding to your body weight and pulling yourself up over a bar. But then the same thing too with dips. Like dips are a great movement for building hypertrophy and strength in your triceps.
Your whole
and your chest as well, whole upper
man.
Body. But do that shit weighted, that's a whole different story.
I used to do weighted dips like 5x5. Like I would make it my main lift.
Nice.
I thought it was...
That's dope.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, that shit's good. I mean,
you get tired of bench pressing.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so if you're, as far as rep ranges, if you're curious about rep ranges, if we're looking more on the side of hypertrophy, you want them to be bigger, want them to look bigger, you're looking at like doing 10 to 20. And, you're probably going to be doing less weight with that. And then if you're looking to, build strength, you're looking at like 5 to 8, doing like weighted chips, weighted chips, a chin up and dip combo. Weighted chips by Doritos. Weighted chin-ups and weighted dips, things like that. Or, load up the big Olympic bar and do 5 reps of really good heavy bicep curls, or skull crushers. Skull crushers are great.
We'll get to that.
So yeah, and then not only rep ranges, not only the high rep ranges for hypertrophy, but also tempo work, right? And we've talked about this in our not the anti-core video.
No, the
phases of muscle contractions episode. The eccentric, isometric, and concentric portions of each lift, right? So eccentrics with hypertrophy is huge. We mentioned this on the show before. Something that Ben Pukluski, the bodybuilder, super smart dude, he kind of, not pioneered, but really kind of exploded on the scene with MI40, which is basically like, you're not doing high reps. You're doing like 8 reps. You're not doing 20 reps, which is traditional hypertrophy work, especially with arms. You're doing 8s, but you're holding it on the way down. So you're coming down on the way down with the bar. You're going super slow, right? And so that's signaling hypertrophy. Yeah. Right? Do you have anything to add with that? Or
I think the biggest thing is we could draw parallels here between guys of, you could almost say, completely different practices. So guys like Pavel, the kettlebell guy, and Ben Pukluski. Ben Pukluski is all about intent and tension.
Yeah, right.
And you'll listen even, I just honestly just read an article with Charlie Weingroff wrote, like, lowest, I forget what it was called, but just about your body knows tension. Like if you're using a 35-pound kettlebell or you're front squatting 135, like creating tension in the muscle as opposed to just going through the movements.
Right.
And what I was getting to was Ben Pukluski's like, really focusing on certain things and hitting things from certain angles and really when you're squeezing your triceps, think about stretching your bicep completely and think about contracting your tricep as much as possible and vice versa. Just to get a full stretch. And you'll hear Pavel talk about creating tension, doing sets of 5 of just tension in multiple sets of 5. For him, he says 5 is like the hypertrophy strength range.
Yeah,
for him.
right.
He's always a lower, rep guy, all about quality over quantity. Like, doing sets of 20 obviously has its absolute place, but just drawing these two, like look at Pavel and Ben Peklesky, like just two different practices, but they're like creating tension. Even with, I'll get just real quickly into a kettlebell swing. If a 200-pound guy swings a 24-kilo bell, that is 800 pounds of force he's putting into the ground.
Damn.
Like you can't, and chances
Science with Nick Scopoletti.
chances are you can't deadlift 800 fucking pounds. Most people can't.
Right.
So just about creating tension in the muscle, as opposed to just, I'm just going to fucking go through the motions. That's what I think Ben Peklesky has been good bringing to the forefront, especially of bodybuilding,
Well, that goes back to Arnold too, which I think that probably is what set him apart, man. Like
Absolutely.
Even going back to Arnold, he talks about in his days in the 70s at Gold's Gym, he wasn't doing like he wasn't necessarily doing like the MI40 eccentrics like as it is on paper, but he was. But as far as intent, which is what Ben Peklesky talks a lot about, the intent of all right, get your mind into that bicep, think about using the bicep, don't just stand there and hammer away curls. Think about the bicep. Contract the bicep. Put all of your thought, all of your energy into the bicep. Yeah. Yo, DJ Sausage Link. You're good, dude. Dude, you're good. All right, so keep going then. Oh, that's fucking great.
Don't edit that out.
So definitely not. All right, so you like we were saying, using intent, right? That goes back thinking about it.
You could even
think about your biceps, and think about your triceps.
Right. Also for injury prevention, man. You look at guys like and muscle quality built. Look at Ben Peklesky or Arnold, and how clean and how they look on stage versus like a Branch Warren.
Yeah.
Nothing against Branch Warren, but if you ever watch that dude lift, it looks like he's just fucking he's having a seizure. Like he's just fucking
Bull in a China shop. Yeah,
he literally, and he gets hurt a lot, and his muscle quality isn't the greatest. He just doesn't look.
He's fucking huge, but
so
in that
big.
sport, he's a big, strong dude, obviously, but in that sport,
Yeah. Look at how clean, like his symmetry is never clean.
Yeah,
he's never been that guy.
So intent, right? So if we're talking about not only using tempo work and using eccentrics, going slow on the way down during your lifts, bicep curls, skull crushers, even tricep extensions, whatever. Think about your muscles, right? Put your mind into your triceps and into your biceps, right? I'm getting deep here, dude. Also another great thing, like drop sets and burnout sets. That's amazing for arms, right? That's something I used to do a lot. So if you're like, if you're ripping a set of 5 sets of 10, say you're doing 5 sets of 10 of like bicep curls or something like that, with a drop set on the last set, right? So you do your first 4 sets of 10, and on your 5th set of 10, you do that set of 10. Then you drop to a lower weight, do as many as you can. Drop to another lower weight, do as many as you can. Drop to another lower weight, do as many, and just keep burning out until you're done. Do that like 3 or 4 times.
That was that is one of the. I was just actually reading some stuff on Dorian Yates the other day. He was a guy like 2 warm-up sets, 10 to 12 reps, and then 1 set of all out till failure.
Yeah,
and then he moves on to the next exercise. One of my favorite things to do for arms back in the day, actually, my least favorite thing, fun fact here, to do is biceps. I fucking hate it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I used to do a couple warm-ups,
it's a pain in the ass.
And then I literally used to start at the heaviest dumbbells possible on the rack and go down by 5 pounds.
That's awesome.
Till I got to 5s. I'm like, okay, I'm done. That's it.
That's a drop set, folks.
I hated doing them.
That's a drop set, folks.
Exactly, yeah. I just want to get in and out.
It's funny you say that about Dorian Yates, because whose programming looks like that too is C.T. Fletcher. For those of you guys who know C.T. Fletcher, if you watch his videos, but also if you look at his actual, some of his programs have like circulated online of like C.T. Fletcher's arm workout. It's the same thing. It's like 2 sets of failure. That's it. 2 sets of failure of bicep curls, or 2 sets of failure of tricep extensions. Just 2 sets of just as fucking long as you could go. Dropping the weight too. You do a set with 1 weight. Just because you fail there doesn't mean you fail. You just drop the weights, go to the next weight, go to a failure, drop the next weight, go to a failure.
Yeah, I prefer that.
So drop sets, that's another good thing. So moving on here, grip strength. That's another thing we kind of wanted to hit here. So that was what I mentioned earlier, the article that we're gonna send in your guys' nudes there. But grip strength, man. So if you're thinking about, especially if you're a power lifter, man, you're talking about deadlifting.
Yeah.
Doing like arm accessory work. what do you think is holding the bar in your hands? Yeah.
See a lot of guys tear biceps on deadlifts, so why not have a strong bicep?
Or just dropping a deadlift. You've seen it all the time, man. Dudes can get it past their knees and all the way up to their, almost up to their hip to the lockout position and just lose. The grip fails. So definitely a important thing to do for your grip strength, right? Doing bicep and tricep accessory work, and then also conversely, triceps kind of works the same with pressing overhead or bench pressing, right? So establishing that lockout, having that lockout strength to really accelerate, but also completely lock out at the top, because that's what these sports are about, man. Your bench press, you got to lock that shit out at the top.
Back to West Side Barbell, like Louis Simmons, the dudes that have weak presses, he's like, all right, instead of like prescribing all these like different exercises and shit, he's like, all right, you're going to do 300 band pull downs at the end of a workout. Yeah. They're like, what? And he's like, yeah. And that's, just to build size and strength. That's what they do. And they're in a bench shirt too. So the lockout is pretty much a lot of it.
Yeah.
Right.
But even if you're looking at Olympic weightlifting too, or even in CrossFit, doing clean and presses, clean and jerks, that lockout at the top, lift doesn't count if you can't lock it out at the top. And what you find a lot of people, the issue with a lot of people with cleans is clean's good, front rack's good. They get a good dip, get a good press, and then they just can't lock it out over the top. Right?
Or they do like the double press, right?
Right. Your arms are bent, and then you lock it out. Sorry, no lift.
Yeah.
So that's why this stuff is important, right? That's why it's important to incorporate these types of, these accessories, these arm accessories into your programming, right? Because that's going to make the little differences with lockouts and things like that. So not only grip strength, your forearms, biceps, things like that. Those are kind of the major players there, but lockout strength with, your triceps and things like that.
Also,
too.
I would say one thing that I've always loved to use with, and not that you need, all these tools and things all the way, but fat grips.
Yeah, fat grips are dope.
Those
are pretty popular for a reason, I think that really makes you squeeze the bar, which is pretty crucial, especially in these strength sports where you gotta squeeze the bar. Especially if you're going for, these 1 rep maxes, if you're going for these 1RM lifts, like you got to squeeze the fucking bar. That's going to make a huge difference.
Fat grip skull crushers on an Olympic bar, or fat grip, or put them on dumbbells and do skull crushers that way. Easily my favorite movements out there. And
then one of the last things that we want to talk about here, guys, too, is just let your arms recover, right? So I know we're talking about doing all this extra stuff, doing all this extra accessory work, but you got to let your arms recover if they're going to get stronger.
They are small.
Especially, in bodybuilding, that might be a little different. You might have room in your programming where, a couple days a week are dedicated to doing, high volume arm work or whatever,
Depending on your
that's
weaknesses,
a little different.
Yeah.
But you got to think, so, if you're a power lifter or a CrossFit competitor or an Olympic weightlifter, let's just say, throughout the entire week, you are doing a lot of pulling, a lot of pushing. You're doing you're a CrossFitter, you're probably doing a lot of pull-ups. You're probably doing a lot of holding onto the bar. So you take that and then you add in 2 or 3 extra days of arm accessory work. It's like your arms are not going to have any time to recover.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison too, they're some of the smallest muscles on your body.
Yeah, seriously.
So they can't really handle too much.
Your biceps are a terribly designed muscle. God, you fucked up, man. But
thanks, Jesus.
But the point of that being, let your arms recover, okay? So don't listen to this and go nuts and say, all right, I'm going to add 3 extra days of accessory arm farm work into my lifts. Don't do it. Add a day, man. Add a day. It depends on your programming. We're not sitting here prescribing anything. Obviously, we can't do that because we don't know you guys individually. But for the most part,
but we'd like to.
Add a day. Don't go crazy with this stuff, especially if you're a competitive athlete in these other sports. You're already doing. Your biceps and triceps are already doing a shit ton, so they can't do much more. So if you are going to add in like the bicep curls, the tricep extensions, the skull crushers, the chin-ups, etc., maybe do like a day of a couple of those. Do like 2 bis, 2 tries, 1 day. That's it. Let that shit recover. Anything else you want to add about arm farm work?
If you want big arms, you better squat.
Is that a real quote?
I've heard that before, yes. Want big arms? Squat.
You want those lower body arms? Squat. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up. Want more of the Strength Students podcast? Go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, make sure you leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and on Stitcher. Stitcher, I just met her. Is that good? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking baby. Just kidding. Welcome back, everybody. Strength Students Podcast. And today we were talking about some bicep work, some tricep work, some arm farm stuff. So I hope you guys got a lot out of that. That's always fun. Everyone always loves arms. Not only to have some nice, big, tough, awesome looking man arms.
Where's this
but
going?
for strength too. I don't know. But yeah, so reminder, check out our video on YouTube that we're going to post about some of our best arm accessories, and also keep a lookout. We are going to be posting a free, I think it's going to be we might do like a 6-week deal, some free arm work programming. So keep a lookout for that. All right, guys, should we wrap it up here? Let's wrap her up. So we're going to do a segment called On This Day, and we're just going to, immerse you guys in some culture. What happened on this day in the past, in the past, in the past, in the past. That was like my...
Yeah, I got it.
In the past, like we're like fading away. So on this day in 1989, Batman is released on video.
Hell yeah.
Batman with Michael Keaton.
That was my life.
The OG Batman with the Jack Nicklaus Joker.
Oh.
That shit was tight, dude.
Prince made the soundtrack.
Yeah. That shit was dope.
Fucking gold.
Yeah, I remember that movie. Watched it a million times, as I'm sure many of our listeners did.
I had so many Batman toys as a kid.
They really nailed that too, man, because it was dark. A lot of the Batman movies that have been made weren't too dark, like all the ones with like George Clooney and Val Kilmer.
I hated them. I personally hated them so
They didn't
much.
capture the essence of the darkness that is Batman, But that first one did, dude. Like that shit was dark.
Even the one with Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Holy shit.
That one's not bad. Yeah,
horrifying.
I like that one.
As
Christopher
a kid.
Walken.
Ugh.
He's like Batman.
What are you
doing? Penguin.
Oswald Cobblepot.
On this day in 2001, Microsoft released the Xbox.
Changed our lives
The original
as children.
Xbox. Yeah,
Forever.
changed a lot of lives there.
How old were you?
Let's see. 2001, I was
12.
Like 11 or 12.
Same.
Yeah, 11 or 12.
I was born 88. 13. I was 13.
Yeah, I was 12. But yeah, I remember I didn't get it when it came out, but I have owned an Xbox, and it was cool. I mean, when it first came out, it was kind of like everyone had like PlayStation at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this new weird controller. But yeah, Xbox came out with some dope games. I mean, Halo was still one of the greatest games of all time.
I sucked at Halo,
and that was a dope game. But even some of they came out in the days before Madden was the only football game. Literally, there were other football games besides Madden. Now Madden literally EA owns all the rights to NFL
corner
games.
of the market.
But yeah, they had some cool different NFL games and stuff like that. That was dope. So yeah, Xbox came out on this day in 2001, and then in 2011, on this day, Drake's album, second studio album by Drake, Take Care, is released. And actually won an award.
It's had a big impact on Steve's life.
Yeah, when that album came out, oh my God. I was newly single, just broke up with a longtime college girlfriend. Everything was going great. I was getting into a lot of different bedrooms, if we want to say. Drake came out with his album. He was just inspiring me.
Best year of our lives, man.
Dude, oh my God, that was a great album. Take a shot for me. So good. I still get chills every time I listen to the intro to that album and every other song on it. So yeah, thank you for the inspiration, Drake.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. All right, everybody. That about wraps it up here for us on this episode of Strength Students Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. We watching you. We know how much people watch us. We know how many views we got. No, seriously, we do. But thank you so much for listening and watching. We appreciate it so much. Please give us your feedback. Instagram, Facebook, even on iTunes, Stitcher. Give us your feedback, man. Leave us some comments. Give us likes, reviews, all that. Yeah, email us. We always throw our emails in the show notes. And keep on watching. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Deuces.